Coming up,
When he went to auctioneering school at a young age, I don't think that he realized how important his voice could be.
I want to spend time on the ranch, I want to be involved in it, but I also want the ranch to know that it's working and can work when I'm not there. My hope is that one of the kids will come back and would want to enjoy farming as much as we do and understand and be able to make it a viable business for them in the future.
learn how a world champion livestock auctioneer keeps his ranch profitable. Next on The American Rancher. Hello and welcome to The American Rancher. I'm Pam Minnick. On this episode, brought to you by GainSmart, we're off to Yates Center, Kansas. There, Charlie Cummings, his wife Carrie, and their children Cash and Caton run 700 cows and raise more than 1,000 yearlings each year. Before we go behind the scenes to the ranch, let's take a look at how Charlie's auction career has evolved from teenage bid caller to world champion livestock auctioneer at Superior Livestock Auction.
So 123.50 next lot.
So I started in the auction business with my uncle Mike. We had my grandpa's had passed away in 1992 and I was in 8th grade, and so my uncle had his estate sale, and the guy that was helping him had a little bit of a health issue and was not able to be there that Saturday morning. So my uncle grabbed me by the hand and I jumped up on the back of the trailer mid-morning, started holding things up and that sort, and by the end of the day he had me hired full-time, and it just kind of escalated from there, from going every Saturday to helping him all the time. And one Saturday, he got really hoarse towards the end, working by himself, as you can imagine, and he said, "Hey, you're gonna sell these last few things." And I'd kind of done a little bit of it on the tractor or whatever, mowing hay, but so he sold a little bit, and then that very next summer in June, when I was 15 years old, he sent me to Worldwide College of Auctioneering in Mason City, Iowa. You know, in the fall and in the springs, every Saturday, that's what I did. I went and helped my Uncle Mike with estate sales, and he had a lot of them, and he was really good at it, of course. You know, I don't know that I was ever going to pursue it as a career. You know, I had filled in 2 or 3 different places. Fort Scott, Lanny Ireland was over there, and Lanny was a world champion, and he had been helping me and kind of mentoring me along. But anyway, I was mowing hay right out here and on a tractor, and Dale Peterson pulled in, and he owned the sale barn at Gas City, and he said, "You're wasting your time mowing hay. You need to be an auctioneer."
And now forward, sold 124 next lot.
When we first got married, I would never have imagined what we have now. When he went to auctioneering school at a young age, I don't think that he realized how important his voice could be. Not just auctioneering voice, but standing in front of people and just being able to speak, and I think that's an important part of it. Not just selling cattle, but being able to have a voice in the cattle business. And when you're an auctioneer that a lot of people look up to, what you say is very important, even off the camera and off of the stage.
The WLAC, I decided to enter it in 2009. Was my first year, coming in to be 2010. The world champion would have been announced in 2010, but Lanny said, Lanny worked at Lamona, Iowa, and he said, the qualifier's gonna be at Lamona, Iowa, you should come up. And I never really gave it much thought or thought much about it, and I said, well, I'll go give it a try. So they allowed the top 8 in at that time, and I was fortunate enough to make the top 8, so I went to the world contest. Went really well. Went really well. I got super lucky. Went to the first year in 2010 and got Rookie of the Year that year. Was High Point rookie. Made the top 10 finalist.
It took him a while to get there. We worked really hard to get to the WLAC. He had that magic voice. He had that chant that everybody loved, and he persevered and he rocked it that year that he won. I was very proud of him. We knew he could do it, and when he did, it was like floating on cloud 9.
Everybody says, well, did it change your life, or how much influence has it had? You know, you get the ring, you get the buckle, you get the truck, and you get all that, but not a lot of that stuff makes deposits, but it is life-changing. It's been unbelievable what it's done for me. I had the opportunity to sell with Superior Livestock during my reign as world champion. Became really good friends with Jim Odell and the Odell family, as well as Buddy Jeffers and the D. Cordovas, and ended up becoming a Superior rep. And then now I'm full-time auctioneer with Superior Livestock as well as a rep.
It's been amazing watching the auction business grow since he won the championship. Like I said, we never would have thought how much it would have impacted our lives. But I remember him saying the one of his dreams was to be on Superior and to auction on Superior. And with the championship and when he won, he was really able to go in there and have the confidence to do that, and thus starting his Superior career, which has been amazing for us, amazing for him, you know, living out a dream job that's not really a job because it's what he loves to do. So if you love to do something and you get to do it every day, it's not really a job. So it's been amazing for all of us.
I started with a love of auction method marketing early. Obviously, you know, auction is the number one way to find out true price discovery, and so I really enjoy that, and I enjoy the auction. But as you see those consigners coming in to the sale barn and bringing their livelihood, and you get an opportunity to work for them one time a year. A lot of them, several of them will bring a spring herd and a fall herd, but you get the opportunity to sell their whole livelihood at one time. You know, that's really enjoyable. It's a big responsibility, you know, and we as auctioneers, you know, hold that dearly because there's so many things that go into it. It's so much more than just a bid call, and it's so much more than just having a nice bid call and a nice roll and a great chant behind the mic. But it's very important to know the product you're selling, know the value of that product, and to know who you're working for, and know what that product, what they've done this whole entire year in doing that, from vaccination protocols to the health, to their genetics, to everything, and to be able to put all that out, you know, it's a huge responsibility, but it's also very rewarding.
So 135, next one.
After the break,
Labor is a huge challenge. Just to find somebody that wants to love it and cares about it and cares about the heritage and leaving a legacy as much as we do, that's probably the most difficult thing.
Charlie explains some of the challenges he and his family face on the ranch and what they're doing to overcome them. You're watching The American Rancher, brought to you by GainSmart.
If you're in the stocker business, you know exceptional care and good nutrition are the keys to healthy, profitable cattle. The GainSmart Stocker Program provides all the tools you need to minimize stress at receiving, stimulate appetite quickly, and create efficient gains on forage or feed. Plus, feeding GainSmart makes your cattle eligible for Superior's first ever value-added nutrition program. Learn more about the GainSmart Stocker Program and find a dealer near you at gainsmart.com.
In 1994, Superior Livestock Auction introduced nationally recognized value-added programs to the American beef industry. Now, cattle sold on Superior Livestock video auctions get top dollar when a program is behind them. The USDA-approved, third-party audited Superior Verified program verifies source and age of your calves. Superior Progressive Genetics identifies load lots of cattle sold on Superior that are sired by Top Genetics. NHTC verifies the source, age, and non-hormone treatment status of your calves. These and other Superior value-added programs are just another way that Superior Livestock is improving the beef industry and bringing more dollars to your bottom line. Individual programs start at just $1.22 per hundredweight.
So you can't make any money any faster than investing $3 and getting $40, $60, $70 back.
Call or go online to find out more about Superior Livestock's value-added programs.
welcome back to The American Rancher. Running a ranch is a highly demanding job, but for Charlie and Carrie Cummings, it's a business that must sustain itself while they build their careers off the farm and raise a family.
The main goal of our cattle operation, what's important to us is have a product that our customers are happy with, that the cattle are healthy, and we put out something that the American people want. is something that we care about deeply. We want something that we can be proud of.
What probably brings me the most satisfaction of ranching is being able to get out and be in the middle of the cattle, because that's what I love and that's what I've always enjoyed. And then, you know, a lot of times we go out and work cattle, and it can become, yeah, it's a stressful day. I mean, things are happening, we've got to get it done and whatever else, and it's a joy for us to be able to do it and to be able to do it as a family. And I love being able to work together and being able to promote that business back to the kids. So Carrie's very, very involved. You know, she can do anything on the ranch that you ask her to do. But 3 years ago, she decided to go back to the school, and that's where she got her degree in. That's what she loves. She loves to teach, and she loves them little kids. So she's back in the school.
We know it's important to diversify. I do have responsibilities on the farm, and I love those responsibilities. But my teaching career has taken a path that I never would have dreamed of, that I really love the kids. I love to share what I know with the kids. I love being in the school and seeing those kids each day. It's something that I take great pride and joy in.
Yeah, when I was working at the local sale barn, you know, you just have to get up a little bit earlier and get chores done in the morning and run the sale barn, and then of course get home late, and a lot of times it'd be chores to do. Carrie would normally have them done. And since it's escalated and into what it is now, and I'm gone a couple days a week, every other week, and you know, and then selling purebred sales in February, March, and April, and then again in the fall, you know, being gone 3 to 4 days at a time. It's a challenge. It's very challenging with labor cost and with labor. I have one full-time hired hand, and then I have a couple guys that do day work and work as well part-time. So that's good. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge to try to keep the ranch growing and keep it viable with all those costs.
Of course, we want to have a profitable ranching operation. Like I said before, you got to diversify. If you want to be successful in life, you got to have something that's profitable.
My hope is that one of the kids will come back and would want to enjoy farming as much as we do, and understand and be able to make it a viable business for them in the future. You know, the main goal, of course, for most of us is to be profitable, you know, and show profit. And I've just really have learned the bottom line, how to build a graph and how to say, here's your direct cost, and here's your overheads, and here's your break even, and let you know where profit's at. And I think, you know, when I spend more time working on the business instead of working in it and being out in the middle of it, when I spend more time in the office and I see those labor costs and I see all that, it's super important. And, you know, for me as a rancher, I'm just learning how to run it as a business and like a business person would run it, and making it viable, because I want to spend time on the ranch, I want to be involved in it, but I also want the ranch to know that it's working and can work when I'm not there. Labor is a huge challenge, and just to find somebody that wants to love it and cares about it and cares about the heritage and leaving a legacy as much as we do, that's probably the most difficult thing.
When he was first started auctioneering, when we first got married, he was gone 5 nights a week. We had cash, and it was tough, but I knew that was a stepping stone. It wasn't going to last forever. It was something that he had to do to get where he was going, and it was all I had to support that. It wasn't just about the cattle. It was, you know, about paying the bills and getting those things done around the house. That as a team, you have to work together.
When it comes to me as a manager and looking over it, looking over our yearling operation completely, you know, one thing we challenge is being able to get those cattle to come right to the bunk, being able them to bunk up early, and once we see them bunking up, then we're able to kick them in the grass traps when we're getting those cattle started. And you know, it takes a lot of labor to do that, and it takes somebody with some knowledge that knows what they're trying to find when we're getting those cattle started. So labor ties right into that, but being able to get them cattle to come directly to the bunk right off the truck at a low stress level is a challenge. Animal health is I mean, it's at the top of the list as far as when we're getting those cattle started. They come off the truck, they're in a total different environment. They're looking at new pens, they're looking at a new place, they're looking at new people, depending where they come from. I mean, it's a total different environment for them completely. When we're talking about getting them started and getting them come to the bunk, and you know, and getting that rumen working and getting that gut health starting to work, so we can keep our pulls down. because that's another added cost is pulling cattle and doctoring cattle, and if we can stay away from that by keeping them to the bunk and keeping them coming, that's where our goals rely. Well, when we receive cattle, it's like having another child. I mean, we live with them, and you have to. I mean, when we get them in, we let them rest, and after we let them rest for 2 days, and then after they rest is when we begin to process them and go through them. So as soon as we get them, it's like getting another load of kids.
Up next,
The nutrition of the cattle is not something you can cut out. You can't cut a corner on that. They got to have that gut health to be able to gain and be able to have a product that is profitable.
learn how one unique product is helping the Cummings family manage labor and medicine costs, which helps to make their yearling operation more profitable. That's after the break on The American Rancher, brought to you by GainSmart.
What makes me so proud of 44 Farms is teamwork within our own organization, but also the vast teamwork of producers throughout the United States and have come together to build a great feeder calf program for both the 44 Farms Never Ever program and the new Prime Pursuits programs in partnership with Walmart. Please give us a call because we believe that together we can do great things, and the best is yet to be.
I landed on my shoulder, messed it up. After I got my injection from MSK Guide, I feel great. My shoulder has improved 100%. I couldn't even pick my arm up, and now I can pick my rope up. My back roping and enjoying life in Arizona.
Take control of current market conditions on Superior Livestock's weekly video auction. Register your lot load cattle by Tuesday, sell them on Thursday, putting you 2 days from money with the largest cattle marketing network in North America. Superior Livestock's weekly video auction has over 8,000 active and qualified buyers, and they're paying top dollar. Yep. Jump in. The bidding is hot. Call us or click SuperiorLivestock.com to learn more. Superior Livestock Auction now offers a monthly Holstein steer and dairy video auction. With the largest number of registered and active buyers in the nation, Superior Livestock Auction is your source for lightweight dairy-influenced calves. Sellers enjoy proven price discovery that pays top dollar. Buyers get access to high volume and steady supply. And everyone appreciates Superior's trusted experience in national livestock marketing. Go online at SuperiorLivestock.com to register and to find out more.
Welcome back to The American Rancher. This episode is brought to you by GainSmart, partners with Superior Livestock and the first ever value-added nutrition program for the beef industry. We all know that when margins are thin, every advantage makes a difference to the bottom line. Animal care and good nutrition are important for capturing profit in stocker and yearling operations, especially as government regulations and market demands continue to shift the landscape of the beef industry. Let's head back to Kansas, where Charlie and Carrie Cummings have implemented the GainSmart line of minerals to improve animal health and gains while keeping their cattle eligible for expanded market opportunities.
What's important to us and to be successful is the health of the cattle. When we get cattle in, we want to really check them over, make sure that they're in the health that we need them to be. We'll process them and make sure that they get the preventive medicines and vaccines they need to be the best product that they can be.
When we first receive those things, if we're not spending time with them, you'll lose track of them. And if you're not continually taking care of them and you happen to get behind a set of cattle, so to speak, then the death loss rises and the risks definitely climb, and it becomes a struggle then.
Back in January, I was able to sit in on a panel of feed yard guys and listen to some of the things that they had to say about health. And they actually asked the people in the audience who were cattle buyers and cattle sellers, what can you do to help us procure cattle when we get them that are going to be healthy and get a better start in our feed yards and allow us to keep them alive and get them to the end point, to the packer. As in any segment of our industry, and primarily the stocker side of things, is getting cattle to start on feed or on grass quickly and being healthy and efficient. That's one of the biggest goals.
You know, what's real important to the guy that I work with quite a bit out west at the feed yard is, you know, he wants cattle that land just like we do, that are unstressed and cattle that's healthy and ready to go right to eating. And one thing that lacks in a lot of cattle is a mineral deficiency, and a lot of cattle have it. And he can tell from the time he gets our cattle, from the time he starts feeding them, that they're not deficient on anything. And I think a lot of that is to credit the AmeriFerm and to credit the GainSmart of what's put in, what they're taking in from that. And once the gut and the rumen begins to work correctly, they get everything else they need from the soil and from the grass.
GainSmart is Biozyme's mineral that fits the stocker industry. We make GainSmart Stocker Heat for native pasture, and GainSmart Stocker Wheat for wheat pasture cattle. And then we also have a mixing mineral called GainSmart Stocker RU1600. It's designed to go into a TMR mix in a grow yard. Well, what's in GainSmart that makes it work so well is what's in everything that Biozyme makes, and it's AmeriFerm. AmeriFerm does several things. On the front side, we talk about the ability to increase intake, digestibility of whether it be a forage or a feedstuff, a grain. And on top of that, we increase absorption rate of all those nutrients by way over 30%.
The nutrition of the cattle is not something you can cut out. You can't cut a corner on that. You can't replace the mineral with anything else. It's something that is vital to your operation. The gut health of those cattle, that's important. It's important to people, but it's more important to the cattle. They got to have that gut health to be able to gain and be able to have a product that is profitable.
So when I first started on GainSmart, it took about 3 to 4 weeks to really see the results. Had some cattle in the pens. I was feeding the GainSmart in a TMR mixer and total ration, and I could visually see them just start to bloom. You know, they just look tremendous. They're always up, ready to eat. They didn't want to eat more pounds on a dry matter basis, but they're there, bunked up, ready to eat. The main thing I seen was good muscle growth. It wasn't like they became just super fleshy and a big belly, but a lot of muscle growth, and cattle just looked tremendous. Cattle that were on the GainSmart had almost 3/10 of a more pound of gain per day. Cattle next door had been implanted, and those cattle were gaining 2.3, and the cattle on the GainSmart gained 2.6.
I think one thing that we face, especially in the cattle industry, is that a lot of us are resistant to change. Whether we like it or not, things are changing in the landscape that we're working in now. We have a very health-conscious consumer, and it's very important to them to know where their food comes from, how it's produced, and what's in it. So if you're looking to differentiate yourself by using GainSmart products, it makes you stand out and be different, that you've chosen to do something that's not only healthy for your animals, but it's healthy for the consumer. Most of us know we have all natural programs, NHTC programs, GAP programs, which all dictate on what you can and cannot use in terms of facilitating performance in your cattle. We fit into all those programs because we are an all-natural product. We bring a lot to the table in terms of not only health, but we also bring a lot to the table in terms of gain and performance. And therefore, when you're not allowed to use some of those things that have always been standbys to help us have higher performing cattle that gain more, or have more sellable weight at the end, here's something that you can use and set yourself apart from everybody else that's not doing it, because you're going to have cattle that you know are performing, and you're going to have that logo to prove to everybody that you know what you're doing and you've studied and done your homework.
With Superior Livestock and as a Superior rep, the value-added program that GainSmart started with Biozyme is a nutritional value-added program. We've got value-added programs from slides that add value, to health protocol that adds value, to natural programs, to NHTC. And what we've seen and what's been reflected as, even as we have buyer panels, they want the cattle to be healthy, and they want them to be on a good nutritional program. So as we go forward, and we will see see and reap benefits from that as we see the nutritional benefits from the value-added program with the VitaFerm logo, whether it be GainSmart or whether it be VitaFerm raised, we will see profit in that.
Thank you for watching today. We hope you enjoyed the program. To learn more about GainSmart or the VitaFerm GainSmart Value-Added Nutrition Program, now available through Superior Livestock, just give them a call or log on to gainsmart.com. And to learn more about us, visit our website, theamericanrancher.com, or connect with us on Facebook. I'm Pam Minnick. The entire American Rancher team, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Superior.